Hello everyone, and welcome back to more Final Fantasy XIV, where we are ready to head off back to Gridania because we have now conquered enough enemies and hopefully can hit level 5 from the quest, because if not, that's going to be really disappointing. I guess I can always, try to do some math, figure out how much experience it's going to give versus how much I need. It's going to give 400, which is not enough. Because they'll put me at 938. So, in that case, let's head off to the North Shroud. There's probably something in my hunting log that's like, hey, you need to kill this in North Shroud. Mightlings. Not really what I want to face right now. That's some ground squirrel right there, though. I'm gonna be honest, I literally looked at the fact that it said ground squirrel, and I went, ground squirrel? Why has the squirrel been, like, how has the squirrel been ground up? And then afterwards I realized that it's, a squirrel that's on the ground. But that was where the, pun came from. I had to say it, even though it was probably terrible. Let's go ahead and take out these mightlings for the hunting log. Definitely don't want to attack the tree ant, though. Stone, and then arrow. And boom. There we go. Da 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 ba da. Alright, back to Gridania. And now we can pick up the next Conjurer quest. And then we'll have to work to get to level 10, so we can then pick up the next one after that. And we'll actually have to work to get to level 15 with Conjure before we can continue. So this will be like the first time other than our starter classes that we're doing the level 15 stuff. So, because obviously we didn't do that for either Arcanist or Rogue. So those were just the level 10s. We will get to the level 15 stuff eventually. Those are just a couple of the classes that I really like, so they were ones I wanted to pick up. Welcome back, Kazumi. The elementals have told me of your success. By placing yourself in the midst of nature and seeing it with a conjurer's eyes, you have taken your first step along the path to enlightenment. Healing, protection, and destruction. Though our spells vary in function, they all derive their power from the same source, and the force is embodied in all creation. By gaining a true understanding of these, a conjurer may call upon them to manipulate his environment, thereby realizing the state of being that he desires. Ah yes, yours is a familiar look, the very picture of confusion. Be not disheartened, for comprehension shall come in due time. For now you must learn to reach out to the forces embodied in each of us. Pray, hearken to mine instructions. Breathe deep and open your eyes to that which cannot be seen. Feel the myriad life around you and draw upon this boundless reservoir of energy. Take up your cane and use it to lend that energy form. Go forth, my young conjurer, and be at one with the world. Return to me when you have learned to draw upon the force around you with the self-same ease you draw upon those within. Alright, can I upgrade at least some of my gear? Yes. Yes, I can. Just some, not all, but that's fine. Excuse me. I might actually pick up the custom-made robe of healing here. Just so that I can get the... Actually, what am I currently using? Hempen half robe? Just because I would like to get the... Well, I suppose it looks the same, actually, as what I'm currently using. So, it's just differently colored. It is good to see you again, Kazumi. By the air of serenity that surrounds you, it is plain that you have learned to draw upon the energy of creation. I am glad. It is the wellspring of all our power. Yet the energy of creation is not one thing, but many. And to call upon all without first knowing each is Conjure at its most basic. As a part of your continuing education, it is my desire that you now learn about the element of earth. Make your way to Blessed Bud in the North Shroud, and there partake of Healer Nolanol's wisdom. The depth of his affinity for the elementals of rock and soil is all but unique amongst conjurers, and he is a gifted instructor besides. May it be certain of receiving a most enlightening lesson on the subject of earth. Alright. Off to Blessed Bud, which is in North Shroud. So let's head on over here to the Aetheryte, and let's head out to the North Shroud. Yellow Serpent Gate. Alright. So we've got to go all the way down here to Blessed Bud. Also, this particular music track always makes me think of what is it? Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, I think it is. There's just a track that sounds very similar to this. Or at least in certain parts. Anyway. So, you seek Healer Nolanol, then seek no farther, for you have found him. What can I do for you, friend? So, Brother Sumion bid you come to me to learn of the element of earth. That as well. Power of earth is a solid foundation upon which a conjurer stands. He could happily lecture you for days on its intricate variations and properties. But I rather suspect the busy life and adventure would not afford the time required for such extended discourse. Accordingly, I shall offer you an opportunity to experience the quality of earth firsthand, in combat. Now mark me well, Kazumi, and do exactly as I command. East of here, in the grounds of Tree Speak Stables, there exists a patch of soil that bears a mark of corruption. Seek it out. When you have found the place, reach out to the focus of the earth's trauma and attempt to commune with it, as all conjurers can. Resentful of your intrusion, the tainted being that feasts unseen upon the energies seeping from the wounded earth shall then appear. Using the powers of conjuring, strike it down and permit the land a chance to heal. Much of the nature of earth will be revealed to you during the struggle, Kazumi. Trust you will return to me a wiser woman than she who now departs. I was having trouble reading that. I really was. Not even gonna lie. I was struggling to read that for some reason. I definitely think it has something to do with, like, the amount of sleep I've been getting lately. Partially because like I can kind of feel like my eyes are like really heavy. Like my body wants to sleep, but I'm not letting it. It's only 3 in the morning. It's not late enough. Sense a hostile presence. Not really sure how pelting Earth with Earth is going to work, but it do be how it is. I mean, usually, you know, those things would be immune to that kind of damage, but... Whoops. Ow. I dropped down and went thwack. Broke my ankles. I don't know if I don't think that was far enough to break anything, but definitely hurt. Welcome back, Kazumi. The elementals whisper of your accomplishments. How did it feel to confront that embodiment of Earth? To endure its onslaught? Has the crushing power of the element shaken the very marrow of your bones? Corruption occurs when the land's wounds are prevented from healing, and vanquishing the tainted sprite permitted the Earth's energy... Sorry. Vanquishing the tainted sprite permitted the Earth's energies to flow unimpeded, and to nourish the land once more. Can you not sense the strength of the Earth returning? Already the land begins to heal. Thanks to your actions, that field will once again bear bountiful crops. When next you have reason to call upon your art, look back upon this task and at what you accomplished. Experience once more the grinding weight of the Earth's fury, and revel in the memory of life. Revel in the memory of life flowing anew to the land you helped restore. For such thoughts show your understanding of nature continue to grow. I hope you are paying attention, Sophie. Huh? And another of my favorite characters. See this adventurer here? Kazumi came all the way from Stillglade Fane just to hear my lesson. You would do well to learn from her example. If you wish to become a conjurer worthy of the name, you must make an effort to study nature. Do you attend me, young lady? Why should I bother studying nature? I can conjure already. See? You have a rare gift for healing, Sophie. A wonderful gift. Yet there is more to being a conjurer than... But I don't want to do more. I want to heal. I'm good at healing. You can't make me do those other things. Sometimes I wonder why I even try. Sophie joined the guild shortly before you came to us. As you yourself just experienced, she possesses a prodigious talent for healing. Indeed, despite her tender years, I know a few conjurers who are equal in that field. Alas, nature, the very wellspring of her power, holds no interest for the child, and when she should by rights be learning about the land, she prefers instead to wander it, healing people on a whim. You, in contrast, have been a most attentive student. I have taught you all I know of the element of earth. You may report back to Brother Asumi and tell him as much. But you barely taught me anything. Blessed bud. Alright. Oh, right. The Aetherite's all the way over there. Not gonna do that, because that's high level. Back to Gridania. Like, that gets into, like, level 30 or higher mobs at that point. So, it's a bit, you know? It's a bit. Full guard float is not for current level, so... Let us head on over back to the Conjurer's Guild again. And we can come on down here and turn in our quest. Obviously, we're not going to hit level 10 before, you know, finishing off this quest. So that's a little unfortunate, but what can you do? Kazumi, you've returned. Tell me, how did you fare under Nolanel's expert tutelage? Have you delved deep into the earth and felt its suffocating weight? Its life-sustaining vigor? Such experiences will serve you well. And have you aught else to report? A fledgling conjurer named Sylphie cast healing magic upon you. How kind of her. I must confess to sharing Nolanel's frustration with the girl. As you yourself have witnessed, Sylphie possesses a natural talent for the conjuring of mending and restoration. Alas, her gift appears to have blinded her to the need for study, and she outright refuses to learn about the natural world. She knows nothing of the elements of earth and wind, and is quite incapable of conjuring even the tiniest pebble or the faintest breeze. I have tried upon numerous occasions to explain to her that conjurers who are ignorant of the source of their power pose a risk to themselves and others, but to no avail. Should she continue to deny the debt she owes to nature and indulge in ever more reckless displays of power, there is every possibility that she will create a dangerous imbalance. Needless to say, I am presently at a loss to know how such an eventuality might be prevented. A thought occurs to me, Kazumi. Might be that your encounter with Sylphie was ordained by the elementals. Should you chance to meet with her again, I ask that you strive to impress upon her the importance of opening oneself to nature's voice. Mayhap she will listen to you. But we have discussed our wayward young friend's education enough. Let us speak instead of one of my more willing pupils, namely you. The progress you have made does you great credit, Kazumi. Though you are yet new to the art of conjure, you are no stranger to nature's embrace. Considering all that you have learned, I hope you understand the true significance of these words. We'll just take the Allegan tin piece. Alright, level 6. Let's go ahead and equip our new gear, which is actually a shield. So that's nice. A shield and a wand. And then, I guess from there, it's just a matter of going out and hitting some of the Northern Shroud and South Central Shroud mobs in our hunting log, while tackling fates and things, mostly. So let's head out to the Central Shroud. And we'll just spend maybe the rest of this episode just kind of wandering a bit, you know, looking for the mobs that we're after, as I kind of, you know, show you the area, and some Chigos and water sprites. These are over by Green Tier, so over that way. I guess I should stop by Bent Branch Meadows first, though. That way I can get the etherite. This place is just miscellaneous. Oh, there's a fate over there, though. If I can figure out how to get back up. But yeah, Conjurer is a good healing class, honestly. I like Scholar more than Conjurer. But if we were getting into my favorite of the healing classes, I think so far my favorite is Astrologian. It's actually like a lot of fun to play. So, like, I've actually really been enjoying the Astrologian job, class, whatever you want to call it. I guess they're generally called jobs in Final Fantasy XIV. Or in Final Fantasy in general, rather. About the only Final Fantasy that I know of that doesn't include jobs per se is Final Fantasy X. But honestly, I kind of preferred Final Fantasy X's sphere grid system. Partially because, you know, anybody could become anything. I felt it offered a really, really good amount of customizability. I mean, sure, you know, if the sphere grid is difficult to get around and, you know, things like that. And like, you know, claiming more and more and more of the spheres becomes, you know, more difficult as you level up, quote unquote. You know, you get AP. But I don't think I would usually play the Waka, Yuna, and Auron team that I usually play. If it didn't allow for Yuna to become, or if it didn't allow for Yuna to be able to go over and pick up like the Black Mage magic from Lulu's sphere grid. Like, I thought that was pretty nice. So, it offers, honestly, the most customization that I think, in the way of, like, skills and stuff, that I think a game, like, that I have ever played has given. And I think, like, I actually thought it was a really cool system. I think that more games should do something like that. Just because it was nice being able to just pick up all of the, you know, thing. You know, pick up all of the, all the different abilities from each of the different, like, classes, all just on, like, one character. You know? So. And, like, unfortunately, one of the things I disliked about Final Fantasy X was, like, just how, like, much each character was, like, necessary. Like, you had parts where you needed Auron because you needed the piercing damage, you know. And then there were parts where you were dealing with flyers, and Tidus couldn't deal with those. Or really, anyone couldn't deal with those. So unless you had magic, you had to have Waka, which is what I did. Which is why Waka was on the team. But then, like, you had... Ugh, sorry. I am yawning up a storm over here. But the sphere grid kind of basically, you know, fixed that, right? There was like anybody could go into anybody's sphere grids. And while that didn't allow them to gain, like, piercing or the ability to hit, like, flying enemies, it meant, like, I didn't have to use Lulu constantly in order to have access to Elemental, you know? I mean, you do have to use freaking... oh, where's Peace Garden? Peace Garden is down here? No. Am I looking at the right place? Central. Ow, I was looking at the wrong thing. North Shroud in Peace Garden. Okay. Central in Green Tier for the Surfing Swarms. That's what I'm after. Sorry, I was looking at the Moroku, which I just killed, and they're all over the place here, but they were in North Shroud in the thing there, so I got myself very confused. Gabino's Bower. But yeah, like, while the sphere grid didn't allow you to, you know, pick up, you know, piercing damage or, you know, damage to flying, you know, range damage against flying creatures, it did allow you to pick up, like, basically everything else. And so you were able to, you know, kind of just go around and use whoever you wanted. And I thought that was really, like, I thought that was actually a really nice feature. Now, it definitely led to not all of the characters getting experience, which I get. Yeah, they're not in the battle, so they don't get experience. But if I was to, like, remake Final Fantasy X, I think that would be one of the few changes I would make. Like, honestly, I wouldn't change much, just because there isn't much that I feel like needs to be changed. Maybe the ending. Because the ending was kinda, but, like, I love the sphere grid. I think it was one of the better, you know, it's one of the best, like, level up systems in a video game, you know. I love all of the characters. I love the story. You know, like, there's a lot to that game that I just, like, really, really love. And maybe at some point I will consider playing it. I do have to play Lunar 2 because I played through the first one. I did start streaming that. But unfortunately, the let's see, what was it? Was that... I think that was another case of where OBS didn't pick up the, like, audio. And unlike this last time, where OBS didn't pick up the audio, the issue that time was that I had recorded a video, but I was using... I had some, like, copyright music playing in the background. Oh, I died. Oops. I guess I didn't see that attack. I got hit with reckless charge. So, rip. I may have missed that reckless charge that just killed me. So, there's that. Hey, you know what? We're in Ul'dah. Let's go do a quest that's here. Actually, I don't have a teleport to Horizon, do I? So I'm gonna have to, like, run there. No, I do. Maybe I just didn't see it. Blah, blah, blah. Ow, because I was looking at Lanasia, not Thanalan. I'm intelligent. Oh boy. Alright, well, let's go over this way, and we'll end the episode after this quest, and I'll work on getting Conjure up to level 10 after that. And then we'll come back and pick up, you know, the quest from there. So, and then try to work our way up to level 15 eventually. Don't know how quickly that will happen. Hopefully not too slowly. But, like, level 19 is our highest. So we're not going to get a lot of, like, bonus experience. You know, as we get like, the closer we get to level 15, the less, like, bonus experience we're going to be getting. So, alright. So we need to come over here and talk to Swergim. And do, I guess, both of these quests even. Swergim wants to show you a whole new world of colors. You there, yes, you, the decisively unfashionable adventurer. Gods be good, never in my life have I seen such unapologetic focus on function at extreme cost of form. The mere sight of you fair makes my eyes bleed. As a lover of all things aesthetically pleasing, I cannot in good conscience allow you to continue roaming the realm in that sorry state. I believe your appearance can yet be salvaged through the use of color. I will teach you how to go about dyeing your outfit, but first, I must have a drink. The heat is giving me a vicious thirst, and I won't be able to talk for any length of time. Be a dear and buy me a bottle of orange juice at the stall by the northern gates, would you? Once I've moistened my throat, we shall see to the busyness of remedying your appearance. Which I have an orange juice, but apparently I can't deliver it until I pick up this quest. Swergim wishes to impart to you her knowledge of glamours. Oh, these are level 15, aren't they? And that was why. Pray tell, have you bought my orange juice? Lest you have forgotten, the merchant who sells it can be found just inside the northern gates. Phew, that's a relief. Finally, I can teach you how to bring color into your life. Listen well. There are handy items called colorants, which allow folk to dye their outfits a veritable rainbow of colors. These colorants are so simple to use, adventurers have no excuse to be fashion unconscious. Unless you worry that dyeing will affect your garment's precious properties, you may rest assured it will not. The practicality of adventurers love so much will not suffer for the change in appearance. A change for the better. It should also gladden you to know that garments can be dyed repeatedly, so there is no fear of getting locked into one color. The garish pink that seemed like such a wonderful idea after a dozen glasses of red can be undone. And that is all you need to know about dyeing gear. Now what are you waiting for? Get out there and bring some color into your life. Yay! We get the dye skill. And actually, I need a whole new hotbar for this stuff, as I've come to learn, because I ended up realizing that I basically fill out everything here in hotbar 6 with other stuff, and so I need another hotbar for the things like dye. Sword Green wished to impart to you her knowledge of glamours. Oh dear, 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 this will never do. My sense of aesthetics simply won't allow it. How can you go out dressed like that? My dear, if only you'd spare a thought for style and coordination. I hope your garb holds up during a scuffle, because there's little else going for it. And that's it, I've made up my mind. From this day forth, I'll take it upon myself to save you from any more fashion disasters. Let me see. So much that needs to be addressed. Where to even begin? Be a dear and get me a drink. I'm feeling rather parched, and this is a matter best discussed over a glass of something cold. Just go to the Pissed Peist and ask Falkland. I'll have some blood orange juice, and tell her to make sure there's no pulp in it. Now off you go. Blood orange. Falkland. Oh, Swergim sent you, did she? That woman. I've never known anyone so lazy. First kill her to come and get it herself. Here you are. You shouldn't let her push you around, you know. Give her an ilm and she'll take a malm. Give her an inch, she'll take a mile. So, how's that drink coming along? There you go. 1 blood orange juice. Oh, delicious. Nothing better on a hot day. Some say I have expensive tastes, but life's too short to settle for second best. Of course, this extends to my choice of wardrobe, too. Now that I'm feeling refreshed, shall we get started? Do you know, dear, you'd look a lot less drab if you knew how to apply glamours. What's a glamour, you ask? Well, they use a glamour prism as a catalyst to project the image of one item onto another. It's just an illusion, mind, but very convincing. This means the original object stays essentially the same. It just takes on a new appearance, that's all. Remember, if you fancy a change, you don't have to stick with the same glamour. Just apply another on top, or use a glamour dispeller to return the object to normal. Why sacrifice style for such humdrum trifles as durability or protection from bodily harm? Limitless possibilities for self-expression are just a couple of glamours away. Go ahead, give it a try. Do make it quick, dear, for my sake. Finding your uninspired attire more and more offensive with each passing moment. Yay! She gives me a green beret, 12 glamour prisms, and the ability to cast glamour and use glamour plates. Glamours now available. Glamour dressers in rooms are now available. You may use dressers to transform items into glamours and create ensembles for quick and easy use. Alright, so now we have glamour. So let's go ahead and head back to Ul'dah real quick. And this was literally the whole point of coming out all the way out here. This is I could pick those up. And actually, do I even have... I was gonna say, do I even have like gear to glamour? I wonder. Or glamour into, rather. I mean, there's some things I could do. But, yeah, I don't actually know if I even really have anything. I mean, I do. I could put the Mikote gear in, and it wouldn't be that bad. And that probably is what I'm going to do. Whoops, I didn't mean to talk to Momodi. Meant to talk to the innkeeper. Retire to an inn room. Alright. So now we can go to the glamour dresser. And you can now see that I have a bunch of items. And I can place these items into here. So let's say, for example, let's do the Mikote separates. And then we'll do the Mikote gloves. Our gear has to be 100% durability, of course. Which, none of this other stuff is it? Nope. Well, I'll still show you at least this. So now we have what are called glamour plates. So by putting the item into the dresser, I used one glamour prism. You see I have 11. I used to have 12. Here, I can select a series of items, such as, for example, body. And if I click that, now you'll see, okay, so I have the Mikote separates on here. So now we can save this in its current state. And now, if I, let's say I go Conjurer. Thank you. What I can do is I can click on, right click, I can link this to a glamour plate. And now it is linked to glamour plate 1. And so now, if I click on the Conjurer button, it will apply the glamour plate. Or if I click on glamour plate itself, I can select a plate and apply. And now, just like that, oh, right. I'm like, how did this get glamored? Right, because that's what I'm currently wearing. Right. But hey, there you go. So another thing I can do is I can dye my gear. And the nice thing is that if they're in here, you can still dye them even, you know, as glamours. You want to dye them here unless, and this is actually a really cool feature. You can dye them specific to the glamour plate as well. So if I wanted glamour plate 1 here to be ice blue, by the way, here's what ice blue does. It changes this a little bit and it makes this change. Really, I need to get black, but black is a crafted dye. I have to get a class to level 15 for that. Here's bone white. Here's rose pink. These are the 3 colors that they gave me. So I can reflect. And it does use the dye, I believe. No? It doesn't? That's interesting. Oh wait, maybe it's because I have to save. Yes, there it is. I was gonna say, pretty sure it requires the dye. It does. So now you'll notice that I've got the white. I click Conjure again. Now it goes pink. But And here's the cool part. Because I dyed it on this glamour plate, if I go into here, I can actually still have the white version. So if you want to dye things one color for one class, but another color for another class, you can do that. And I think that's really cool. Now, you're probably wondering, well, how do you get dyes? Or you're probably not wondering because you've probably played the game, because most of the people that watch these videos are people that have played the game. But I'm still going to, do this as if you don't. Because who knows, maybe you are watching this and you've never played Final Fantasy XIV before. Just because the majority of people that watch have doesn't mean that, doesn't mean that you have, right? But you come to the the market, and usually there's somebody called a dye monger that's here. I don't remember where they are in this one. I know right where they are in Limsa. And I was fairly sure it was him, but maybe it's because I haven't done a quest. Let's see. Is there a quest here I can pick up? Nope. Pretty sure it's this guy, but I'm pretty sure I have to do this quest to be able to buy from him. So I actually don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure it's him, but I don't know for sure because I can't talk to him. So, now not all gear can be dyed. A lot of gear actually can't. And it's actually really easy to tell. If you look here, you'll notice that the helmet here has a little circle on the top, but the rest of my gear here doesn't. If it has this little circle, it means that it can be dyed. And that circle is depicting the dye. Plus, you'll see, if I hover over this, it says moss green dye. So that means that that is the color. But you'll see that's not listed on any of these, because it would be directly underneath the, it'd be directly underneath the classes, but before the bonuses. So, but if I go over here into Hawker's Alley, one of these guys, I think it's the next set down, but one of these people will have the title of Dye Monger, I believe. Yes, right here. Sinrail, the dye monger. And you can buy some dyes here. Not all dyes can be bought here, though, which is very important to realize. A lot of dyes are either bought somewhere else or are unique to crafting. Once you hit, I think it's level 30 in a crafting class, you can start crafting dyes. I can't do it right now. Huh, that's interesting. Ixal is unlocked already and I haven't done that. But when you have them unlocked, you'll go into special recipes here and they'll be in this section. I think it's like master recipes or something like that. But yeah, I don't have access to it right now. I don't remember if it's level 15 or if it's level 30 that you craft dyes. I'm fairly sure it's one of those, but I don't know for sure. That said, you can always click on the dye button. Move, thank you. I always have trouble with that. You can always click the dye button, and then you can always look over the colors for any item that can be dyed. And if you find one that you like this is pretty decent, right? Or let's see, what was it? Cerulean Blue was one they sell. Nah. But like, I might do, well, Dragoon Blue is a little high saturation, honestly. But yeah, I think I'd probably go for maybe a nice Royal Blue. That would look cool. There is Soot Black, which is basically, you know, black. But this one is only craftable. And then there are things like Jet Black and General Purpose dyes, and metallic dyes. But all of these either require you to purchase them off of other players, which you can do via the market board over here. If you're not on free trial, I am, so I can't access it. Or they are available on the actual online store for Final Fantasy XIV. You can buy like entire bundles of like 10, 20, 50, stuff like that, I think. But yeah, like if I wanted to, let's say I wanted to go to Arcanist, and maybe I don't like this outfit, so I want to dye. Oh, that looks really funny. Using a metallic dye on cloth looks kind of funny. But like, you know, if I wanted to dye it rose pink, I can do that. I probably will. Just for now. In fact, let's go ahead and dye these a bit of rose pink as well. And then, is rose pink one that you sell? Yes. So we can buy a rose pink. In fact, we'll buy 2 rose pinks. Because pink. And we'll cast a glamour. Not cast a glamour, excuse me. We will dye. I hit the wrong button. I know I said it, and I pushed the button, but I didn't. That wasn't what I wanted. Also, you don't have to hit the update gear set. I just am used to hitting it every time. But there we go. Now I am not a white mage, not a black mage, not even a blue mage or a red mage, but a pink mage. Yeah! I should really dye the gloves, that way it all matches. And if you should want to remove the dye color, you buy Terebinth, which is a little confusing because when you go into the dye menu, it shows up as black, but this isn't black, this is actually clear. So it should be like, I don't know, a transparent symbol or something, not black. But yeah, honestly, once I can craft soot black dye, I'm probably going to use a bit of that. Or who knows? Maybe because I have Cassandra that already does that. Maybe I'll like pick a different color. For now, this is fine. But I would think I would like to do something other than just pink. And I don't exactly have a lot of blue options. I've got Midnight, Ink, Ceruleum, Sky, and Ice. And I don't think any of those interest me, so... I kind of like the royal blue, you know? So there's Sky. And then there's Ceruleum, which was the one I already said I didn't like. I don't think Ink was right. And then Midnight Blue. Well, Midnight's not bad. So, I don't remember what the other one was. Maybe it was Ink. I don't know. I mean, this looks more like a black. But I guess that's why it's called Ink Blue, right? Because it's a very, very dark blue. So. Oh, yeah, Ink Blue. It was. Okay. But then, of course, there's Midnight. There's Gloom Purple, Gray Purple, Naufika Green, Halatali Yellow, Bone White, which isn't actually white at all, Opa Opo Brown, Chestnut Brown, Chocolate Brown, Mesa Red, which is actually a brown color. But yeah, there's tons of dyes, tons of different things you can do with colors. I'm going to dye these gloves real fast. But I think that's about it for this episode. I do hope that you have enjoyed. If you have, feel free to subscribe. You can check the video description down below for a link to the playlist. That way you can get caught up on any episodes you might have missed. Let me just go ahead and just do some quick gear repairing so that we can throw in some some of these stuff into Mogs. And these are all fine. It looks like Ring of Fidelity, inventory. Okay. All right. But yeah, check the video description down below for a link to Patreon as well, because it really does help out the channel a lot. And with that, I will see you all next time. See you later.